I read this article in one of the online variations of all the plenty of newspapers out there, and it was all about charging your iPhone with its lithium-ion battery. Doesn't sound very political, but anyway, it was this very in-depth discussion about whether it was a good idea to charge your iPhone overnight, because that's what most of us do. See, we want that phone to be like working with us all day long, so we charge it when we go to bed, and we want it to charge all night, so it's topped off at 100%. But that may not be a good idea, because you see, the longer the battery charges, the more it degrades. And that means it doesn't hold as much of a charge later, because you see, it's been constantly being charged. So it's always charging, and every time it charges, it loses some of its chemical, virility, as it were, and so it begins to become less and less and less, and power your phone for fewer and fewer hours for doing less and less things. And that's because you've been charging it too much. But this is not the same as overcharging it. Overcharging it is when you overcharge the phone and it charges and charges till like the battery explodes or the phone short circuits. But they put in a special, fail-safe circuit to make it so that the phone doesn't overcharge, so it detects, you see, when it's about to overcharge and stops that, so that that doesn't happen. But then that leaves this problem that you see, even though your phone's plugged in, it's not actually overcharging because they've stopped that. But it's still going to gradually decharge as long as it's plugged in, and since it's still plugged in, it's still charging. So even though it's not being used, the battery will still go down gradually to 99% over a couple hours. And so then the charger charges it back up to 100%. And this constant, up and down shuffle is what wears out your battery over the course of 2 years until it doesn't work anymore. But you see, the geniuses at these smartphone design companies and who make these lithium-ion batteries haven't figured out a way to deal with that in a way that users can also deal with. Like, okay, we know that users charge their phone overnight, and we know to stop the overcharging. But what do we do about this other problem of charging degradation, because they're always charging it and it keeps getting charged? We could just tell them, we could lie and say it's at 100% when it isn't. We could put in like a little 3 or 4% wiggle room so it says it's 100% when really it's in 94, 96. But everyone would get mad because they want their phones at 100% for their busy day of business, commerce, and pleasure. Shoot. Huh. Or, they could say, well, just leave your phone at 97% or 95%, and don't charge it overnight, but we're going to stop it at 95% of its capacity, or it would go to 100%, but then let it go down to 90%. But that would mean people would have to remember that, and that's not 100%. We want 100%, god dang it. Huh. So now, you see, we just have this terrible, terrible dilemma, man. I mean, just nails on a chalkboard kind of a problem. Like, shit, what the fuck are we gonna do? It's like red alert on the Starship Enterprise right now. Fuck. What the fuck? How do I charge my phone, man? Shit. And I just want to say that, I feel like somehow this problem is imminently solvable, but in order for us to recognize its solution, we would have to recognize the error of so many other things.